The Acer Predator Triton 300 SE. Stupid name, but is it a stupid laptop? Let's find out. What up YouTube? Crash Wilcox, and today we're taking a look at, that's right, the Predator 300 SE from Acer. The 300 SE, and I'm probably going to keep shortening this name throughout this video because I think it's a long, stupid name, but that's just my thoughts. It's an ultra portable gaming laptop, and it's sporting the Intel 11375H CPU, which is a 4-core, 8-thread CPU that, according to Intel and the Acer website, it can clock up to 5 gigahertz, though I've not seen that. But this model also comes with the RTX 3060, sort of basically max-Q configuration. It also comes stock with the 512 gigabyte SSD and 16 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz RAM. And then the last thing is it does sport a 144 hertz 14-inch screen, which is pretty nice. So this is just going to kind of be a review, and it's been a long time coming. If you guys can tell, if you're used to my channel, I'm in a different setting. We just moved from our previous home into a new home, and I'm kind of bare bones in there right now. We'll see if we get the studio set back up, but for right now I got a TV dinner tray and I got a blanket behind me trying to muffle some of the noise, but we're making do as best we can because I've been wanting to get this review out for a while. I've had this laptop now for a couple months, about a month, 2 months or something, and I just wanted to get it out there because I think this is a laptop that probably a lot of you guys have been looking at and you want to know if it's worth it. So well, I guess let's go through kind of what we're going to talk about. So in this video, I'm going to give you obviously my thoughts on the laptop. Like I said, I've owned it for a little bit now, so I think I'm pretty familiar with it. Then I'll try to address some of the negatives that are associated with this laptop. And then lastly, we'll go into some of the benchmarks, which are mostly just going to be gaming because it is an ultra portable kind of gaming laptop. I'll throw some Cinebench in there as well. I only did the single threaded because what's the point of doing a multi-threaded Cinebench? Like, it's a 4-core 8-thread CPU. You know that the multi-core is not going to be great. So we're going to skip that one. But as you saw in the title of this video, I think this is the perfect laptop for absolutely nobody. But I do think that it's a great laptop for anybody. So it's not perfect for anybody, but I think it's great for everybody. And the big complaint that you hear about this laptop, or really most of the 11th gen Intel laptops, the early, I know they just launched the whole like 11800 and stuff like that, but the early was the 4-core 8-thread CPUs in 2021. Like, come on, man, like 4 cores, 8 threads is garbage in 2021, especially when you got the Ryzens are out there with, the 5900 HXs and stuff, 8-core beasts. I hear you. I understand that, and I struggle with it myself. And in fact, I struggled so much that when I was purchasing a new laptop, if you're familiar with this channel at all, I used to have a Razer Blade 15 Advanced, or not Advanced, sorry, Razer Blade 15 Base. The 4K model, beautiful mercury white. I wound up getting rid of it because I am an idiot and I like new things, but don't be like me. And so I got rid of it, and I actually bought a Surface Laptop 4 because I wanted something that was a little more ultra portable. The Razer was loud and it would get hot and stuff like that. So if you want to know, I actually wound up sending the Surface laptop back. So if you want to know why, my thoughts on that, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get back with you. But I sent it back and I finally came around to purchasing this one, which I had looked at from the beginning. So I hear you. I understand the 4-core argument, and I went through the struggles myself, as someone who has a desktop with a 3950X, 16 cores on the desktop. It's hard to go, quarter that. So I definitely hear you. But the thing is, and why I say that this is perfect for no one is, look, like if you're a hardcore gamer, big into AAA titles, like you're the one guy on planet Earth that still plays Cyberpunk 2077 or Godfall, which I will have in the benchmarks here. I literally only, side note, my God was 2021 in late 2020. Terrible time for AAA title releases. Cyberpunk and Godfall were atrocious. But like if you're a hardcore gamer, yeah, 4 cores, pretty limiting for you. And in that case, this isn't a perfect laptop for you, right? Like go get something like an Alienware or the Razer. Those are much more in line with what you need, especially if you're into that AAA gaming. And then if you're maybe a content creator, right? Again, those 4 cores can be pretty limiting if you are doing heavy video editing. Maybe you're big into graphic design and you're working with projects with tons of layers and all these, different things. Not a great laptop for you, right? Maybe even, again, go look at that Razer, maybe a Dell XPS type thing, and that might be better for you. If you're a business professional as well, right? Like, this is not perfect for you. If you need something that's ultra portable, ultra silent kind of a thing, the LG Gram might be in your wheelhouse, or even that Surface Laptop 4 I would recommend. That's a perfect laptop for that. Super long battery life, all those sorts of things. So that would be even better for you. If you're like me though, and you have a really nice desktop at home and the laptop is just something that you use on occasion, it's not something that you use all the time, then I think this is a great laptop for you. So yeah, like if you just need a laptop that does some gaming, it does some video editing, it does some graphic design work, you take it to work maybe occasionally, or you work on the side at home, or something like that, you do a little bit of professional type work on it, then this is a great all-arounder in my personal opinion, and I think it would be good for anybody. Not to mention the price when you're looking at things like Alienware, Razer, MacBooks. This one, I think I got it for just under $1,300. Hard to beat. So, if you have something at home that can be your main workstation, main gaming station type of thing, and then this is just something you use occasionally, then I think it's a perfect option for you. So, on this laptop, I have gamed, admittedly a fair amount, probably more than I probably should have, because I do have my nice desktop at home, and truthfully, I will admit I really only play Genshin Impact on this thing. So, although I will be playing Crowfall when that releases, and July 6th it'll be out. I'm in no way sponsored by Crowfall, but it's a PvP-based MMO, and I want you to play too, because the more players we have, the better the game will be. So go get on Crowfall. Come find me. I suck at PvP, so you'll probably destroy me. But it handles those. Obviously, Genshin Impact can run on a phone, so it doesn't really matter. But handles those well, 60 FPS, no big deal. But if you're like me, you play things like Genshin Impact. Maybe you play older AAA titles, like maybe you're still on the Division 2 or something older, Shadows of the Tomb Raider kind of a thing. Those older AAA titles. Maybe you're into the free-to-play type games, or maybe you're into esports and stuff, CSGOs and all. This will handle that, no big deal. The 4 cores are not going to limit you in that respect. But again, if you're looking to play the most modern AAA titles, this is going to be struggling. It's going to struggle today, and it's only going to get worse going forward. So probably not ideal for you. But everyone else, it's a good option there. I've also video edited on this. In fact, I'm editing this video on this laptop, though I'm using Filmora X, which is not something everybody uses. It's not Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, but it does have hardware, accelerated encoding, all that. So it's pretty comparable. And it's fine. It's obviously not the Ryzen 9 that I have in my desktop, but it wasn't limiting in any way. It wasn't like, I just can't, it's too stuttery and I can't. No, it worked just fine. I mean, a high refresh rate monitor works well for video recording or video editing. This one does it just fine. The RTX 3060 is a great GPU when it comes to helping to render out those videos. So again, I wouldn't want to do it all the time. Not to mention it is a 14-inch screen, so that gets a little tiresome. But on the occasional road trip where you need to edit something, works just fine. And I've also taken it for, graphic design was something I mentioned before. So I use Affinity Photo for an Affinity designer for most of like the designs and stuff that I make. And I'm not that good at it, but it does work pretty well. The screen is pretty color accurate. I think it's 99% sRGB and 77% of the Adobe RGB, which is pretty nice. And so it does graphic design just fine. And I've even taken it into work type settings. And to me, that's personally where this thing shines. It is incredibly quiet. It runs almost silent. I mean, you can't hear it now. I can't hear it now. I'm sitting right next to it. And even during sort of intensive workloads, gaming or video editing, it really does not get loud at all. And it doesn't get hot at all. So whatever Voodoo Magic Intel put into their sort of ultra portable 11th gen CPUs, they do the trick, because I've gamed, again, Genshin Impact type things, but just sitting directly on my lap, and it does not get uncomfortably hot. It's not uncomfortable to the touch. So it runs cool, it runs relatively quiet, and outside of heavy workloads, it's silent. So kudos to Acer on that. But yeah, it works well in that professional setting. And then again, just to kind of look at the laptop, so the ports, it has two USB 3.2 Gen 1, like USB-A ports. It has Thunderbolt 4, it has HDMI, and that's about it. The keyboard on here is pretty nice. It's not the best typing experience on the planet, but I like it way better than Razer. That Razer Blade keyboard sucks in my opinion. This one is actually quite enjoyable to type on. And then the trackpad, it's a glass trackpad. It's small. If you're used to a MacBook, you're used to a Dell XPS, a Razer Blade, it's pretty small compared to that, but it does work very well. It's what I tell my wife. It's not the size of the trackpad, it's the, consistency and accuracy that matters. And then it does have a fingerprint reader in the trackpad. It kind of sucks. It works like 60% of the time, but it does work, so there's that. So that's the laptop. The big negatives, again, that you hear in regards to this laptop are the 4-core, 8-thread, big negative. Again, I've kind of addressed that, who I think it works well for. The other one that you hear is the screen brightness. So it only goes up to 290 nits. Whatever, I don't know. Like, I don't compute outside 99.9% of the time, and I'm sure you don't either. So if you're indoors, perfectly fine. I guess if you wanted to game in Death Valley at noon, this might not be the best laptop for you, but otherwise the 290 nits is fine. It's bright, it looks beautiful, and again, the 144 hertz refresh rate is nice. Some of the other things, upgradeability is limited in some respects. It only has one RAM slot, so this one comes with 16 gigs. It means that's 8 gigs soldered to the motherboard. You can upgrade the other 8 to 16 and gives you a total of 24 gigs of RAM. And then it also has one SSD slot. So I did replace the SSD that was in here with a Sabre Rocket 2 terabyte SSD. The one that it comes with is plenty fast. I think it's like 3,500 megabytes download speed, so it's pretty fast. I just needed more space, so I upgraded to the 2 terabytes. But otherwise, that's fine there. So that's really my take there on this laptop. Again, I don't think it's perfect for anybody, but I think it's good for everybody. And then when you start looking at the price comparison, like I said, I got this for under $1,300. Depending on where you look, it's around $1,300 to $1,400 or so now. And I'll have links down in the description if you're interested in this and you buy it through that link. It helps me out. But compared to, you know, the Razers and the Alienwares, the XPSs and stuff, it's definitely a better bang for the buck in my opinion. And I was skeptical, you know, truthfully, with the 11th gen CPUs and stuff in here, but I've been surprised. And then just some of the other stuff that it has on here, the Acer Predator Sense, which is like their software that manages like the fans, the RGB lighting and stuff like that. I think it's really nice, really user friendly. Outside of maybe Razer's Synapse, I think this is the best one that I've used so far, so that's a positive. And then also it's in that 14-inch frame, which kind of is like the hotness right now for new gaming laptops. You know, Razer's just coming out with their 14-inch, so you got that going for you. But all in all, I think it's a really good product for what it is, an ultra portable gaming laptop. It's not a desktop replacement. It's not a high-end gaming laptop. It's not a workstation. It's an ultra portable gaming laptop, and I think in that vein it does very well, and I think it would surprise a lot of you personally. So that's my take on it. We're gonna get into the benchmarks now, and then I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you got any takes on this laptop. But otherwise, that's all we got, man. God bless.